Disclaimer: the comments made in this video are intended solely for entertainment purposes and are not meant to offend anyone.
Feminism has been a powerful force for women's rights, achieving major victories like voting equality and workplace protections. But now, some argue it has spawned a breed of activists detached from reality. Supporters claim feminism is still crucial for addressing ongoing inequalities, while others argue it has gone too far. But what's really going on beneath the surface? So today I've compiled two more heated debates where controversial views on feminism and veganism clash. Let's start with a lively discussion where traditional views on gender roles face off against modern feminist perspectives. Watch as the sparks fly.
But then Jesus warned us about being too religious. So going through and saying he made us man and women.
It's not a religious.
It's not. I cannot even believe you said that.
Biological reality.
I think we were talking a little bit about feminism. So you guys, feminists, right? What if I told you that feminism is not actually about equality? Agree, disagree?
It's about awareness.
Awareness?
I would
Wait, did Madison dip?
No, I think she went to the bathroom maybe. Okay. But I would like to hear what you think feminism is, or what your...
Yeah.
Because I took my definition straight from the dictionary. At least from what I remember.
Yeah.
It could have changed now. They like to change definitions now.
Yeah. I mean, I think... the most charitable definition that I could give feminism is, it's not... Again, this is the most charitable definition I give it. It's not an equality movement, it's a women's advocacy movement. And there's nothing wrong with women's advocacy, but to try to paint feminism as seeking true equality. See, feminists don't fight for equality if said equality does not come at the benefit of women. If there is no benefit to be reaped by a form of equality, feminists will not fight for it. Therefore, it is not a true equality movement, because if there was a form of equality that would, in some conceivable way, come to the detriment of women, but equalize the genders, for example, military conscription, feminists will not fight for it. Even if you're granted equality, for example, with if you equalized military conscription to the point where both men and women had to register for the selective service, had to, if they both had to be conscripted in wartime, that would be equality. But it's the case in today, women were able to secure the vote without having the corresponding responsibility of being conscripted into war. So, and even to this day, women are not subject to military conscription in the US and the vast majority of Western countries where we have feminist movements and where we otherwise have equality between the sexes.
So from my definition of feminism, like I cited, the belief that men and women are equal, and I kind of take your version of it. I mean, I know you're not a feminist, but we are equal in value. We are not equal in we're just not equal. We can't. It's comparing apples to oranges. It's two completely different things. So that's kind of where I see it, and I don't know. It's taken. Since I've kind of switched political leanings, it's taken me a while to kind of reclaim the term feminist, because I do just believe in that, we are equal in value, and I think that's important. And it goes into a whole bunch of other different definitions. I guess everybody interprets it differently, but that's my belief of what true feminism is.
I think another aspect of feminism that really bothers me is this obsessive culture of making women go into work and encouraging women to work, which I'm a huge fan of. I love I think we're all
Corporate
Americans
queen.
and we should pursue our dreams and our career, but not at the expense of your family. And so they're leading women into this corporate life that's so unfulfilling, and it's just honestly buying into this whole capitalist system where you're just sitting at your desk all day and you leave behind no legacy and you have no family and there's no fulfillment. And as someone who works and also has a daughter, I will tell you every day of the week, every second of the day, being a mom is way more fulfilling and important to me than whatever career is happening. And that doesn't say that you can't be passionate about your career, but I think there is no focus on that with women. Instead, it's go into the corporate machine, work all day, freeze your eggs, we'll pay for your abortion. And I think that's so toxic and detrimental to women.
I think that I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but we also have to always acknowledge that that's a luxury that so many women don't have. And so like in this time where a lot of women do need to work and they don't have the luxury of, you know, getting to spend that time like with their children in that way, that feminism, there's aspects of feminism that do benefit women, just like there's aspects of feminism that might hurt women and hurt men. The same way there's aspects of masculinity in this modern movement that are positive, but there's also aspects that hurt men and hurt women. And I think it's on both sides. It's not like who's to blame. Is feminism to blame? Is masculinity to blame? But I think there's issues on both sides.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like a one size fits all. Oh my gosh, feminism is the only thing that's ever gone wrong. I think it's the breakdown of traditional gender roles in the family. I think there's a reason why this existed throughout history and has been successful. And I think there's this attitude with people nowadays where they think that everyone that came before us is stupid and we're going to create this whole new world. And I think we can learn from people of the past and their successes and like what created happiness and what created fulfillment. And like I said, my whole thing is I think feminism is very counterproductive to women. And like even going into a whole nother aspect of this, like when I see actual civil rights deterioration for women, which is what feminism should stand up for, like the gender movement that now is allowing men to basically become women just because they like stereotypically feminine things, putting on dresses and heels, and now they're invading our sports teams, our locker rooms. Like these are civil rights that we've fought for and now are being eroded by men. And then I rarely see feminists standing up against that. And like men are taking our championships, our titles, they're competing in our sports. And like Title IX, we fought really hard. Like feminists fought hard for that.
What's that?
I agree.
Well, like, to be real, that's so, like, Jesus Christ. I feel like how does that have anything to do with feminism? When we come to feminism, it's just kind of about going to the places where, like, women are kind of considered not equal to men, where women should be equal to men. Like, I feel like it was all about wages. And then people drag it. I mean, it was about wages,
feminism.
and it was about wages, and then it kind of got dragged into getting bigger about what gender roles and like. But it was feminism was of course in the name created to protect women. But then like to go forward and say that men are just choosing. I mean, like you don't understand like the chemical makeup of people and their hormones or their hormone imbalances and like what happens in the body is so organic. Like you can't tell me that there's enough science to prove that. That's just so
that
like
an XX chromosome is female and XY is male.
Yeah. But like, who cares? Like everything that is female and male.
Men are coming in and taking away civil rights achievements that we've
or
won
coming
over
into
time.
my prisons.
And
like that
raping women in prison.
Well, men aren't coming into.
Yes, they are.
They are.
Yes,
they 100%
they're winning
are.
Our championships.
Look into Washington State prisons.
They're
raping
women
from my
in
prison.
hometown, a man
hold
just
on.
took that away.
I'm so sorry. I keep saying the R word.
Are you saying?
I like cannot. Sorry, I'll let you talk, but I cannot condone
grape.
Like just saying that men are coming into our life as women when transgender women experience so much abuse.
All right, we're not
as well as women
about that. But basically, what you're saying is that men
like who
are better women than women. Is what you're saying?
I'm
just kidding. I'm kidding.
My whole thing is that feminism is not protecting women in this day and age, and the actual erosion of our civil rights that I'm seeing unfolding through the gender movement. There's very few feminists that stand up against that.
Yeah, the patriarchy wins again.
Yeah, exactly. I just find the entire movement overall extremely counterproductive for women and very toxic.
But do you think that means that we just have to you can't just like eliminate the idea that like there is that movement going on for like people who are gender to do things like sports? Like we can't deny that that's happening. So if I feel like it can't just be that we either accept that or we don't, but what about, finding solutions that everybody can agree with? Do you think that that's possible, that's supportive of everybody, that everyone would be comfortable with?
I have extreme compassion and empathy for people who struggle with gender dysphoria and that they do not like the bodies that they're in. I have extreme empathy and compassion for that, but that just because someone feels that way does not mean it's true. If an anorexic person is telling you that they hate their body, they look in the mirror every day and they're like, I'm fat. A doctor does not just prescribe them diet pills. It's the same way. We should be teaching people that the body we're born in is the right body. God does not make mistakes. You have a beautiful body, and you should embrace that, and you should love yourself for who you are. And regardless, you can't biologically and physically transition into a different gender. And so, like I said, I have extreme compassion.
You think Jesus really cares about whether or not you're transitioning? Is there one time in the Bible where Jesus
Many times. He made them man and woman.
Where did Jesus say that? Jesus came to forgive and spread love, like for
Jesus
society.
died for our sins to live in his honor.
And Jesus died for our sins for so much. There's nowhere in the Bible where Jesus said
what happened to dating?
Yeah,
what
but then Jesus warned us about being too religious. So going through and saying he made us man and women.
It's not religious.
Like,
it's not religious.
I cannot even believe you said that.
Biological reality. It's women are born with XX chromosomes and they can have children, the bear pregnancy for the most part, and men are born with XY chromosomes, and they have complete different bone density, body structure, they have different sexual reproductive parts. It's reality. And so by leading people down this false road that they can actually change their gender when it's not physically or biologically impossible, I think is cruel and medical malpractice.
God. No, I could say that
oh my God, okay.
You know, a man maybe feeling feminine or feminine energy and them dressing up or whatever, that's fine, but I could say I do agree with you on the part where the medical part, because a man taking estrogen is like so just weakens their body and is really bad for them at the end of the day. And I personally don't know too much about it, so I can't say, but I would say medically is not really.
I'm fine with men liking traditionally feminine.
You just said
because
that.
No, at the end of the day, most that fully like their bottom part do commit.
That's true. It's
statistics.
statistics. You are statistically more likely after you transition.
I'm totally okay.
That's why I think the gender roles are
fucking bullshit. If anything, it's about gender roles. Like, what about, okay, so me being about a baby woman, okay, whatever. Everything else about woman is a gender role.
Well,
a fucking gender role. And it's like, if you're gonna sit here and talk about people who genuinely struggle more than other people,
that is what's
because
ironic
that's how their emotions feel.
Let's not yell here.
This is what's
I'm
ironic.
not trying to scream at you, but it's just like, it just feels stupid to me to sit here and be like, okay, your body, you can be a woman and not touch your freaking. I don't care. Like, I can say whatever I can believe and have whatever the fuck I want. It's their words.
That's delusion.
What's ironic about genderism is
I'm not like my but like my
the
vagina
exact gender roles
and whatever gender that associates
liberals
with
are
is my
fighting
choice.
against. So the whole thing is, if a man likes stereotypically feminine things, then he becomes a woman. That is cementing gender roles and saying, like, example, when I was little, I liked traditionally masculine things. I liked sports. I didn't want to wear a skirt. I wanted to wear shorts. That didn't make me any less of a woman. And so that's what I find so regressive about genderism, is that cementing archaic and stereotypical gender roles and telling people that they can be whoever they want to be, but that doesn't make them less of a man or less of a woman.
But I think also, if you're bringing, you brought God.
It matters because they're coming in, like I said, there's
coming in
civil rights.
Okay.
People
are dying.
And there's very high rate.
But also, I think it's important to acknowledge that you brought God into this conversation, and I completely respect, and I think a lot of people respect your right to practice your religion, to have your beliefs, but then you also have to respect someone's right to disagree.
But these aren't my religious. I do have religious beliefs, but it's
a
aside
projection
from
of religious
no,
beliefs
it's
as
not.
well.
It's a projection of what I believe is biological reality that's existed since the start of humankind.
But then if we're not talking about like how it's coming into like our sports and things like that, I'm saying there's other alternatives for compromise that I believe are possible. Maybe we haven't found them yet, but ways that we can all coexist peacefully.
Agreed.
And so, but to deny the experiences of people with gender, I don't
think she's denying anybody's experience. I think that she is just merely saying that this is a mental illness, and treat it as anything other than that is a disservice to those people.
Yes, it's
because
cruel.
you are telling them a delusion. You're filling into a delusion, and I know that there are some people who do experience gender dysphoria who do walk lighter in life after medical and social attention, but I think that for the majority of it, if we look at the statistics, and the only long-term study done is done
Eric,
in
can
Sweden.
you pull up S-Fond really quick?
Watch as a vegan activist attempts to convince a skeptical host and chef about the benefits of a plant-based diet. The host responds by eating steak on camera, leading to a clash of values and some memorable moments. This debate touches on issues of personal choice, environmental concerns, and the ethics of food production. These debates showcase the passionate disagreements that can arise around hot-button social issues. While the participants may not find common ground, they certainly give us plenty to think about. What do you think about these arguments? Let us know in the comments below.
They've tipped milk all over the floor of Fortnum and Mason and Selfridges in London. They've hurled white paint at the gates of the Houses of Parliament. Now they've targeted a high-end steakhouse in London. And the waitresses did what many have wanted to do with these protesters for a while. Take a look.
Thank you for the market. Good night.
Well, joining me now is Animal Rebellion spokesman Nathan McGovern and celebrity chef Aldo Zilli. Got it right this time. He picked me up on it. It's Aldo, not Aldo. Aldo's a very British pronunciation of an Italian name. Good to see you both. Nathan, start with you. I don't like vegans very much. I don't think any of you look very healthy.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, I think you all look pretty pasty-faced and unhealthy to me. But that's your choice. What I don't do is I don't go running into vegan restaurants and start screaming abuse at you all and have to be pulled out by people because you're ruining everyone's fun. Why do you do that to meat eaters?
Well, Piers, you've started on an absolute blinder today. I actually brought a little game with me for Aldo, perhaps the audience to play. It's a Piers Morgan vegan bingo. Maybe we get a zoom on that from the camera. And you've actually just ticked off one straight away. I'll just go with that. We're looking at row or a column already. So the thing is, within years, technology like precision fermentation, alt protein, is going to produce the exact same products that you love right now, using a fraction of the land, producing a fraction of the carbon
But I like
footprint.
eating meat.
It's the exact same product.
No, but I like eating meat.
Fine. You'll be eating the exact same product.
In fact, the
but
more
without
you
the
guys do
exploitation
this
of
kind of thing,
animals.
the more meat I want to eat.
That's absolutely fine.
But it's
Piers.
true.
That's fine. That's
you
fine.
literally, it's a bit. Honestly, it's true. The more stuff you do like this,
Sorry, I didn't catch that. It's true, is it? You've said that about 3 times. I didn't
What's
quite catch
true?
it. That you like eating meat.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. I didn't get it the first 3 times.
How committed a vegan are you?
How committed a vegan am I?
Would you eat? Do you drink almond milk?
Oh, you've ticked off another one. Fantastic, Piers. You are on an absolute
Does it have
roll.
answering questions?
I don't. I'll keep that one hidden from you. Take the fun
Can
out
you just
of the game.
answer questions? Otherwise, it's not much of an interview. I mean, you can have your little chart, but do you drink almond milk?
No.
Do you eat almonds?
No.
Do you eat avocado?
No.
What do you eat? What do you drink?
I love seasonal British fruit and veg.
Right.
I love supporting British farmers. I love going to a farmer's market, seeing what they have to offer. I love eating a plant-based
But most
diet.
science now says that if you don't have a balanced diet, it's actually unhealthy for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why a plant-based diet, a balanced plant-based diet is healthy.
Aldo, what do you feel? I mean, your restaurant is very close to where this happened, right? What do you feel about these activists running in, ruining people's meals?
Listen, 25 years ago, I opened one of the first vegetarian restaurants in London, Soho. And if it was now, it's probably more successful. Then it didn't get very successful. But anyway, cut long story short, I don't have any problems. I've written a vegetarian book, not a vegan book. I don't have any problems with veganism and vegetarian people because I have restaurants. I'm a consultant for a number of restaurants, number of restaurant companies, and we have vegan and vegetarians on menus. So I don't understand when it gets out of hand that these people have to disrupt our business.
Well, because they have no respect for meat eaters. But if we were doing the same thing to them, they'd all go nuts, right? Wouldn't you? You'd all go nuts. If I came running into your little vegan hellholes and began screaming abuse, you'd all throw your toys out the pram, as you do on a daily basis.
I'm not throwing my toys out the pram right now, Piers. I'm loving this, to be honest.
What are you loving?
I'm loving this open conversation that we're having about this actual quite.
But why do you have to go and do a restaurant and disrupt our business, disrupt the customers, other people that want to eat the meat, other people that want to enjoy themselves, they want to go and have a night out? I don't have any problems with you guys coming to our restaurants and ordering a vegan dish. In fact, in January, we always do a veganuary, and we got through a lot of different ingredients to create menus for you guys. I don't understand why we have to suffer your mentality of coming to our restaurants and trying to disrupt the customers that are having a fantastic time and they want to eat a steak.
What's the answer?
No, it's actually a good question, Aldo. And actually, it's fantastic that you create fantastic vegan dishes. The fact of the matter is, when we look at high-end restaurants, you know, Salt Bay's restaurant, Manor up in Manchester that was also disrupted at the weekend, these are symbols of a broken system. You know,
why? Because he makes nice
symbols
food.
of a broken system where, you know, there's 1,500 quid getting charged for a steak.
Why is he making millions
Can I please
around
make
the
my
world?
point?
I was in one of his restaurants last week in Qatar. Loved it. Fantastic. But he served me. I've got a clip, I think, of him.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to show it. I was wondering how long it would take.
That was me doing his little salt trick. He taught me.
You weren't very good at it.
He then actually cooked it in front of me, and he fed me, actually, directly fed me the meat into my mouth. It was delicious. Loved it.
Fine.
Well, loved it.
I would invite any vegans.
But if you'd run in and tried to interrupt and just ruin everyone's night, I would have done what those waitresses did, just thrown you out.
That's absolutely fine.
So what's the point of it all? What does it achieve? None of you make me want to change my mind. I just think, what annoying little squits. Honestly, I do. It's the same when you're chucking paint at Van Gogh paintings. It's the same when you're tying yourself to fuel pumps or hanging yourself on bridges and stopping people using Dartford Tunnel. It's all the same. You're just all too annoying. So the British public don't like annoying people, and they don't like their lives being disrupted. They want their freedom to have a choice. The choices I had in Qatar last week to have Salt Bay's restaurant you invaded to do this to my mouth.
Can you imagine someone coming in?
This is it.
And disrupting your evening.
Have we got the clip? We haven't got the clip.
Oh, wash.
Oh, you just ran it. Okay.
No, but can you imagine you coming to our restaurants and then you get some people coming to your table and trying to disrupt your evening? It's abuse.
I am going to start running into vegan restaurants.
That's fine. Go for it.
That's your right. Being annoying and grabbing tables, and so you can't eat your gruel, and just see how you lot like it. I'm going to go to your house and chop paint all over it.
You've got a right to protest. Oof! You've got me another one.
Stick it off your bingo.
Fantastic.
Stick it off your bingo, son.
But where's the salt? Where's it?
Won't need any of this gruel. Let's
Fantastic.
put that to one side, but I will have a bit of steak just to.
You didn't salt it though.
You see, all you've achieved is you've made me want to do this. Just eat a lovely.
That's absolutely fine. You go for it.
Do you know how many steaks he's had from my restaurant?
Yeah, a lot. But here's my point. I love eating steak. I'm not going to stop eating steak.
Yeah.
And the very last thing on earth that will stop me eating steak is people like you with your pasty faces running into our restaurants telling us to stop eating steak.
That's
the very last thing I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
Because you don't represent to me vitality or good health. You just all look like you want a good bit of steak.
That's absolutely fine. You're fully entitled to that opinion. And as I've just said earlier, you're right to protest if you want to run into a vegan restaurant.
Your mates are also the Extinction Rebellion, right?
My mates.
You're all like interwoven, aren't you? You said before we came on air.
What, like a woolen blanket?
Well, are you
together.
connected or not?
No. So we're a sister movement.
A sister movement? What's that?
Rebellion.
Sounds a bit sexist.
No, we have, common goals.
What are your common goals? Irritating people.
Such as tackling the climate and ecological emergencies, which, I'm sure all of us.
What did you think of Meghan and Harry using a private plane?
Oofed, there we go. Meghan Markle. That's another one. That's 4 for 9. I'm not going to give you that.
What did you think of them using a private plane to go to this award show? You must be furious, right?
It's incredible how you manage to turn this into, let's dump on Meghan and Harry. You're a gender peers. Oh,
you just talked about the environment. I just wonder whether.
Would you go in their plane?
I just wonder whether you. Do you feel?
I wouldn't go on a
do you
plane,
feel
no,
angry they used a private plane or not?
No, I think what we should have is affordable travel for everyone.
But they used a private plane.
What we should have is travel systems.
Do you criticise them for using a private plane or not?
Or
because they're the woke king and queen, you're not allowed to.
They're using a plane.
Is it because you can't?
I would have much preferred.
You know why you can't, don't you, Nathan? Because this is against hypocrisy.
You
can't because you, Nathan McGovern, you don't want to read a headline tomorrow saying Nathan McGovern from Animal Rebellion slams Meghan and Harry for using private plane. You don't want to say it because, like them, you're a flaming hypocrite. You'd rather go in.
There we go. You've got me a column. Brilliant.
You'd rather go into restaurants like Aldo's or Salt Bay's or whatever and just make a nuisance of yourselves because it's easier. But what you
Easier.
should be doing, if you're intellectually honest, is saying, Meghan and Harry, stop using private planes. But you won't, because they're your
I will
little
say it
white
right
king
now
and
if you let
queen.
me. I will say it right now
Aldo,
if you will let me.
final
Piers.
word to you about a balanced diet. Most science I've read lately says that actually having no meat in your diet at all is not necessarily a beneficial
Or
thing
fish,
at all.
for that matter.
Right, or fish.
Yeah, I mean, we have to have a balanced diet, and it's important for our well-being, for getting healthy. If you work out in the gym like I do, I need to have maybe some good protein.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I did go vegan for 6 months.
You nearly kill you?
A couple of years ago.
Nearly killed me. I went vegan for an hour. I had a lettuce.
It didn't kill me. It didn't kill me.
What about that vegan Greg's sausage roll?
It was disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting.
Complete
Of
racket.
course,
Exactly.
yeah.
More calories in a Greg's vegan sausage roll than there are in a McDonald's cheeseburger.
What I don't
I'd rather have
understand-
a McDonald's
What's
cheeseburger.
irrelevant?
At least it tastes better.
It's naming the dishes, and like they're meat,
I just
but
think,
they're not
Nathan,
meat.
look, Nathan, here's the point. If you want to win an argument, you just can't be annoying all the time. You can't just ruin everyone's fun and their lives, walking around like you have the only way forward for life and the universe, the Nathan McGovern rule book.
It's not me.
Thou shalt do this, this, and this.
Oxford
Unless you're
University.
Meghan and Harry, then you
It's
can do what you
Harvard
like.
University. It's the IPCC peers. This isn't me. I'm not a scientist.
Right.
I'm perfectly
Thank
happy
you.
to admit
I think
that.
we'll leave it on
People
the fact
from the
that you're-
University of
so
Oxford,
you're not an expert.
the University of Harvard,
You're not an
IPCC.
expert.
Neither are you, and you should listen to
You're
them.
not an expert. I think we'll leave it at that. Nathan?
Don't
thank
come
you.
to